Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Keratin&Curls. In my last video, I talked a bit about my first ever keratin treatment that I had done in the salon quite a few years back. And while I was really happy with the results, that I would not be able to pay £150 every 3 months to maintain the results. So that's what I'm going to be doing in today's video, taking you through how I do keratin treatment at home. So after a lot of research, trying to find a good keratin treatment I could do at home, I finally found one, which was Avlon's Texture Release. Now, they don't specifically call it a keratin treatment, but it is one. I think that's maybe just to do with some of the controversy that keratin treatments have got over the years. Now, what I really like about the Avlon Texture Release kit is that all of the ingredients seem to be good, and then on top of that, it's specifically designed for people with curly or afro hair, which is perfect, exactly what I was looking for. Only downside is that it is designed for salon use, which meant it was really actually hard to get hold of it. I actually had to do a lot of Google searches, and I ended up having to import it from America, and it does specifically say designed for professional use, so just be really careful. Now, with the Texture Release, it is a little bit different to keratin treatments that you might be used to. It was a bit different to the keratin treatments I was used to, mainly because there's a pre-stage before, so you do your shampoo, the shampoo comes with the kit, then you go on to, that's the wrong one, then you go on to the hair dilator, which essentially just prepares the hair for the treatment to be applied, so it kind of helps to open up the cuticle and helps to make sure everything's going to be extra smoothing. So after you've done the hair dilator, that's when you would go in with the Texture Release in Lotion, which is actually the keratin treatment, and then I would go in with some heat protectant and blow dry and straighten as usual. The only other difference with the Texture Release is you also have to rinse midway through, which was not something that I was used to. I was always a bit worried about rinsing off the treatment before using heat, but actually it worked out really well. And then lastly, I just want to flag as well, on my last video, someone did leave a comment talking about how keratin treatments had ruined her hair, ruined her curl patterns and really thinned out her hair. So I just want to say again, like, keratin treatments have really worked for me. They've really helped me to grow my hair, keep my hair healthy, but I appreciate that everyone has completely different experiences, and it's so important that you do the research for your hair and know what's going to work for your hair. There are a few things that you can do to like minimize, you know, this type of damage. So a big one is limiting the amount of heat that you use when using the keratin treatment. Some of them are so bad, like the amount of heat they recommend I just think is crazy. I personally don't think you need that much heat. Now, just a pre-warning, this is a mostly makeup free video just because there was a lot of rinsing involved and I thought I can't be bothered to keep doing makeup back and forth. So pre-warning there. I did record this after, so I've already done the treatment at this point. Hopefully you'll find this video helpful. Okay, so I just wanted to show my hair before the treatment. So you can see I've had it up for quite a few days, so it has really stretched out. And you can see I've got really loose curl texture down here, which you can see. Okay, so I've just got out of the shower, literally just shampooed and made sure that I've got absolutely no build-up in the hair. So now I'm going to just comb through. And I've got my spray bottle again just to help with that. Just want to make sure that when I am doing the treatment, take an extra care, because you can see these are already quite loose, so I don't want to make them too much looser. So this was my first mistake. I should have detangled before washing with conditioner, because once you've shampooed, you're actually not allowed to condition, and this is to make sure that the treatment can really penetrate the hair strand. And while this is great for the treatment, unfortunately it's not great for detangling. It left my hair feeling quite dry, which anyone with curly hair knows is not the best time to detangle hair that's been in a bun for over 2 weeks. So really make sure you make the most of the conditioner when detangling before and then wash your hair. This will make it easier and help reduce breakage. Just make sure that you've washed all of that conditioner out with the shampoo, and then shampoo again to make sure there's absolutely no product left in the hair. Okay, so this is my hair fully detangled without any product. You can see it's just super frizzy, not really much curl definition, and yeah, this is it brushed out. So I'm now going to go and start sectioning and applying the treatment. So unfortunately for me, I didn't actually realise the kit didn't come with gloves already, so I had to improvise at the last minute, and luckily I was able to find some washing up gloves. So step 2 is to use the dilating spray. I sprayed this throughout my hair in small sections to make sure each strand was properly coated. This dilating spray prepares the hair for smoothing. So it's really important that you cover each strand but you don't oversaturate. Use enough to make sure each strand is covered but not dripping wet. In hindsight, I probably could have gone a bit faster here, but as this was my first time using the texture release, I really wanted to make sure I did it correctly. So I continued spraying throughout each section and combing throughout my whole head. I finished the section by giving it one last spray and then just plaited it down to keep it in place. One thing to note is that it's very hard to plait while wearing washing up gloves. Who knew? So if you can, try and use normal plastic gloves and save yourself some time, and then resume with the next section. And then moving on to the final section, thank goodness. Does anyone else get like this? I feel like doing curly hair is such hard work. Once you've covered your whole head with the spray, I just resprayed quickly. You'll then need to cover it with a cap and leave it for 10 minutes. You're supposed to activate it with heat using a hooded dryer. As I'm doing this at home, I didn't actually have a hooded dryer, so I had to improvise. So I bought this hair bonnet hairdryer attachment from Amazon. It looks absolutely ridiculous and it was quite fiddly, and unfortunately it wasn't necessarily as good as a hooded dryer, shock, but it did at least help make sure that some heat was applied during the process. So the instructions say to sit under a hooded dryer for 10 minutes, but as it felt like some of the heat was being lost with the attachment, I did leave it on for 20 minutes. So then it was time to take it off. So removed the hooded dryer, took off the shower cap, and then began to undo the plaits to move on to the next stage, which is the releasing motion. So this is the keratin treatment itself, and you just want to make sure you apply this evenly to coat each hair strand and take care to avoid your scalp. Another oversight on my side, again realised I did not have a brush to apply the treatment, so I decided to use my smoothing brush instead. And this was actually really effective because it allowed me to apply the treatment but also make sure it was really evenly distributed, and I think it actually ended up working better than an applicator brush, so I definitely recommend it. was to part it. So the next stage is to spray with heat protectant that is provided in the kit, and then to start blow drying in small sections. Even though I'd rinsed my hair at this point, because I'd sat under the hooded dryer and only rinsed and not shampooed, I could see that my hair had retained some of the keratin, and the blow drying is really helping to seal it into the hair. I blow dried on a medium heat using my smoothing brush to help.
I was actually really impressed at how smooth my hair was going just with a normal hairdryer, and I think that was to do with the fact that the treatment was being activated, so it's making it much easier to blow dry my hair. So this blow dryer was not on a high heat at all. It's actually a pretty old blow dryer.
So I then finished up blow drying and wrapped my hair away and went to go and have a birthday dinner with my sister. So I'll be back in a few hours. So I'm now back from dinner. It's now the evening, so I've got my jumper on, and now it's on to straightening. So I'm just taking that first section, spraying with heat protectant again, taking my smoothing brush and going over with one pass of heat. So as I mentioned before, these bottom sections of my hair were where I had that looser curl texture, so I really wanted to be careful to make sure I did not loosen those curls. So where you see me going over a second time, that's just more of the root where the curls are a little bit tighter, but I made sure not to go over the ends more than once because I really did not want to loosen that curl pattern. So the way I did it is I used the smoothing brush to create tension with the hair, to really show the hair what texture I wanted it to be, and then use the straighteners to hold that in place. So by using the smoothing brush in the way that I did, it just meant again that I didn't need to use much heat to get the hair really, really straight. And then for the middle back section, I actually did go over a few times. I think I used up to 3 passes or 4 passes of heat on this section, and that's just because the middle back section of my hair is the most coarse and it does get the most frizzy and doesn't really hold much of a curl. So I wanted to use a little bit more heat there to activate the treatment more, to help loosen those curls in the middle back section of my head, to kind of match the texture around the front section of my head. So again, just taking small sections of hair, using a smoothing brush to smooth it down, and then going over with 1 pass for the lower section of my hair, and then up to 3 passes for the middle back of my hair. I then straightened, I then finished straightening, and then enjoyed having my hair straight for a little bit. It's very rare that I straighten my hair, so I'm sure everyone can relate in terms of that feeling when you can swish your hair and you want to brush it because the brush just goes through so easily. That's kind of what I was doing there. So at this point then I knew I was going to sleep, so I then looked to wrap my hair without causing any kinks. And I saw a tutorial for this. I still need to work on it a little bit, but to keep your hair super smooth and straight overnight, just to wrap it round your head and use clips and things if need be, and then sleep with a bonnet.
So it's been 3 days now, and this is what my hair is looking like. So you can see where I hadn't really rinsed out the product as well at the roots. It's starting to look a little bit greasy, which is crazy because my hair never gets greasy. And yeah, it's really crazy to me like how straight my hair is.
So just come out of the shower and this is what my hair is looking like. It's got no product in it. And my hair feels really soft, which is crazy because it's literally got nothing in it. So far so good. I'm now going to just put some leave-in conditioner and some styling cream in and see how it does, but so far I'm happy. So I'm going to come back when my hair's dry so that you can see then how it's looking, but right now when it's wet I'm really happy with it, just the way it moves, it feels really soft. So yeah, we'll see. So I'm terrible, I did actually forget to come back, but I was feeling my hair, so I actually did a TikTok showing off my new curls, so sorry it's not an ideal video, but this is what they were looking like. So it's been 2.5 months now since I did the texture release, and you can see some of the keratin is slowly but surely starting to come out, although I can definitely still feel that a lot of the keratin is still in there. Like my hair feels really healthy and just feels really soft, which is nice, but you can see especially towards the front where it's a little bit frizzier. I think maybe next one I do, maybe I'll try and apply a bit more towards the front. But yeah, overall really happy with the texture release, and I think I'm actually going to do another keratin treatment in the next few weeks to a month, because I know I've been seeing a few videos where people are saying it's kind of the back-to-back keratin treatments that really cause the damage, so I really want to practice what I preach and actually do one, you know, 3 months after my first one, and actually see if I can still keep a similar curl texture to what I've got now, because I think that is a pattern that we tend to see. The first keratin treatment for a while, everyone loves it. For me, this is the first keratin treatment I've done for around 1.5 years now, just because I hadn't found a good keratin treatment I could do at home. You can see I have still kept these curls down here, like they didn't really get much looser after doing the treatment, which was great. It's sad, but I do think it's going to be time for these little bits to go. My friends keep telling me, Lucia, you just need to cut this, and I think I do. Like, they look ridiculous, but it just makes me feel like I've got long hair. But yeah, I think I will need to just snip these sections. I always try and put off cutting my hair. So, and yeah, I think that's everything. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please subscribe and like this video. And yeah, if you guys have any experiences on keratin treatment yourself, please leave a comment down below. I love hearing about other people's experiences and understanding more. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.